You are very welcome to day 18 of this Bedtime Yin Yoga Challenge. We're meeting here every day for 30 days to unwind, relax, and stretch. For this class, we'll be focusing on gentle back bends. Doing these back bends in Yin Yoga is a really nice way to release the spine, and it also helps to create more space in the front of the body. So it helps to release any stress or tension around the heart space and the lungs as well. You will need a yoga block or two for this routine. We will be doing supported fish pose. But for now, we're going to start in Sphinx pose. So you can come on down onto your belly. Forearms come onto the mat in front of you. Measure that distance between your elbows by clasping opposite elbows. And then you can bring the hands back out in front of you, spreading your fingers nice and wide apart. For more intensity, keep the elbows close to you. For less intensity, slide them away. Just make sure that your elbows are either underneath your shoulders or in front of your shoulders. And the feet can be however they feel natural for you. We'll stay here for 3 minutes. So already starting to feel that back bend, feeling some compression in your lower back. Maybe noticing a little bit more space around your lungs and your heart as you breathe in. Tap into all of those sensations that help you to stay present. Attach your awareness to your breath and just enjoy this subtle back bend. I'll let you know when it's time to release. Now you can start to come down into crocodile pose. Resting your head on your hands, bringing your big toes together. And just observe the body here as the spine just slowly goes back into place. Now there is an option to go that little bit deeper and come into seal pose, but if you feel as though Sphinx pose is your maximum edge, then you can repeat Sphinx pose instead. If you are coming into seal, you can widen your feet apart again, bring your hands next to your chest, and then slowly lift your upper body up until your arms come to about straight-ish. Now you can widen your hands and point your fingers away from you to come into a true seal pose. And you can either look straight ahead or maybe diagonally up. And we'll stay here for 2 minutes. But if of course you feel as though you need to come out of the pose sooner, please do, that's no problem at all. Bringing your awareness back into your spine, noticing how it feels different in this position. Once again, find those little sensations that can keep you present. And then I'll let you know when it's time to come back down. Now you can start to slowly peel yourself back onto the mat, just one vertebrae at a time. Find crocodile pose again. You can make your way back into child's pose now. Knees can be whatever distance apart feels comfortable for you. Bring your forehead down and this time extend your hands towards the front of your mat. We'll bring a little bit of lateral movement into the spine by walking both hands over towards the left, starting to feel that opening through the right side of your body. And then we'll walk the hands towards the right, allowing the left side to create space. Arms can come back to the center. And take an extra moment just to create a little bit more space between your vertebrae. Very gently stretching your spine. Now push yourself away from the mat so you come back to find a seat. You can sit whatever way feels most comfortable for you. And we'll just pause here for a breath or two, feeling the effects of the poses. From here we'll come into saddle pose. Saddle pose is a really nice way to open up the front of your body, especially your quads, and it does help to create a nice subtle back bend. So as always, you can be sitting on a cushion or a yoga block here if you need to. You're bringing your feet in underneath you, making them wide apart if you can, so you can sit in between them or sit onto that yoga block or cushion. And first we'll just stay here, feeling already that opening through the quads. If it feels good for you, just drop into it for a few breaths. You might also be feeling this opening through the front of your ankles. And if that feels very intense for you, you can roll up your yoga mat a little bit to create some padding underneath. Or maybe take a blanket or a towel or something like that and just put it in underneath the ankles. And if you want to find a back bend here, you can very slowly start to walk your hands behind you. You might be happy to stay here like this. This might be your maximum edge. But if you do want to go deeper, you can come down onto your elbows or even lie on your back if your body is comfortable with that. We'll stay here for 2 minutes. If you are still up on your hands, there is an option to drop your head back, just opening up through your throat. You can start to come out of your pose, really taking your time. Eventually, once the legs come back in front, you might do some windshield wipers by dropping the knees from side to side. You might be craving to make your legs long on the mat. If you are, you can do that. Maybe taking a brief forward fold just to stretch the backs of your legs. And then maybe rotating through your ankles or shaking off your legs. And then we'll come to sit cross-legged on the mat. We're just going to release the spine with a brief twist. So you can bring your right hand back behind you, use the right arm to prop up your spine, and your left hand can come to your right knee. Inhale to lengthen, and as you exhale, just rotate one vertebrae at a time. Maybe eventually looking behind you. And we'll stay here for 1 minute. Come back to center now. pausing when you're there to feel the difference between the two sides of your body. Repeating on the opposite side, the left hand comes behind, right hand comes to the left knee. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to twist. Make your way back to center now. We'll come down to lie on the back of the body. Just make sure that your yoga blocks are nearby. Open up into corpse pose here, giving your spine time to align itself against the ground. Notice how your body is completely supported by the earth. You can allow it to completely relax, dropping any tension or worries into the floor. We'll be doing supported fish now, and we're going to hold for 5 minutes. So you can find the most comfortable, most sustainable version of this pose for you. You might take one yoga block and just have it in underneath your shoulder blades. So just putting it on the mat like so. And then you can support your head with a cushion or a second yoga block. If you have a bolster, you might put the bolster in underneath your knees or your hips if that feels good. So we're just roughly aligning the bottom of the shoulder blades with the edge of the block. And then pouring your chest over it, your head can rest on that second block. Feel free to fidget and adjust and wiggle until you find the perfect way to be. Legs can be long, or there is an option to come into reclined butterfly pose by bringing the soles of your feet together. But remember to just do what feels right and sustainable for your body. Once again, know that you are completely supported by the ground beneath you and by the props. You can let your body just pour into them. Relax your jaw. Relax your face. With each breath in, notice how there's so much more space for your lungs to expand. With each breath out, you're getting rid of stale air from your lungs. Stay here enjoying the support of your props and your yoga mat, and then I'll let you know when it's time to release the pose. Think about coming out of the pose, really taking your time, eventually peeling yourself back up and removing the props from underneath you. Once you've done that, you can come back down into corpse pose. Feeling the difference within your body now, letting it melt into the ground. I encourage you to stay here for longer if you can, or click into this 10-minute guided relaxation video. If you liked this routine, make sure to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. I'll see you again here tomorrow for day 19. Until then, take good care of yourself. Good night and goodbye.